Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spring Convocation 2008. Would you please join our vocalist, Elise Epp, in the singing of O Canada, and then please remain standing for the invocation.
God of the ages and of our lives here and now, today we rejoice as we celebrate this sign of accomplishment, this rite of passage, and the fruit of much hard work and dedication. We give thanks for those who have loved and supported these convocating students on the way. To parents, grandparents, spouses, children, and friends, we say, thank you for the sacrifices you have made that bring us to this day. We stand in gratitude for professors, instructors, and administrators who have shared their knowledge and have given the graduates the confidence to trust their own life experiences, judgments, and insights to lead them to truth and meaning. We give thanks for the richness of our university experience, the opportunity to meet new people and to form meaningful relationships, to recognize who we are and who we are not, to cultivate our gifts and abilities, to explore new ideas, to think critically and imaginatively, and to pursue significant questions. As these academic degrees are conferred upon you today, may you take with you a strong sense of the dignity and power held within you. In Nelson Mandela's words, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. May we all be liberated from our fears so that our presence automatically liberates others. May this liberation lead us to hear the cries of those less fortunate and respond with abundance. As we seek to put our learning into practice, give us strength to pursue justice and peace, and the grace to fulfill our vocation to serve others in daily life. And as we go from this place today, we ask the mover of the universe to flood our path with light, to turn our eyes to where the skies are full of promise, to turn our hearts to brave music, to make us one with heroes of every age, and to fill us with deep trust in the goodness of life. Amen.
Would you please be seated? Again, graduands and distinguished guests, welcome. My name is Lee Pennock, and I am the University Secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the colorful platform party that you see before you. So beginning in the front row at my far left and your right, Jerry Uzwak, Dean of the College of Dentistry. Kathy Arnold, Associate Professor in the School of Physical Therapy. Janusz Kozinski, Dean of the College of Engineering. William Albritton, Dean of the College of Medicine. Brent Cotter, Dean of the College of Law. Trevor Crow, Associate Dean of the College of Graduate Studies and Research. Peter McKinnon, our President. Vera Pezer, our Chancellor. Douglas Barber, recipient this afternoon of the Honorary Doctor of Science degree. Jocelyn Schreimer, member of the Legislative Assembly for Saskatoon-Sutherland and representing the Government of Saskatchewan. Walter Linklater, our Elder. Fred Fulton, President of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. Laurie Friesen, University Chaplain. And Kelly McInnes, Registrar and Director of Academic Services and Financial Assistance. In the second row, Malcolm Reeves, Assistant Dean for the College of Engineering. Charles Mollet, Assistant Dean, College of Engineering. Bruce Reeder, Director of the School of Public Health. Wei Zhao, recipient of the Distinguished Researcher Award this afternoon. Paul Teplitsky, Associate Dean of the College of Dentistry. Jim Thornhill, Associate Dean of the College of Medicine. Cam Broughton, member of the Legislative Assembly for Saskatoon-Massey Place. Judy Bazowetsky, a member of our Board of Governors. Josie Steeves, President of the University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. And the following members of our University Senate: Faye Puckett, Leanne Abel, Laurel Krause, Margaret Kuzik, Gwen Keith, and Mavis Moore. And behind them, and I would ask them all to stand and be recognized, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me in expressing to all of these faculty, administrators, and members of our governing bodies our thanks for the work that they've done by supporting, teaching, and encouraging our graduates.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, colleagues, friends, visitors, parents, and the graduating class of 2008. It is truly an honor and, in fact, a special pleasure for me to introduce Dr. H. Douglas Barber, who is receiving today an honorary Doctor of Science degree. Dr. Barber is one of our very own. He was born on a Saskatchewan farm, and he and his wife, June, have raised a family of 4, whose families now include 9 grandchildren. He is a man of faith with over 35 years of active involvement in his church. Dr. Barber attended the University of Saskatchewan, obtained BSc degree with great distinction, won the Governor General's gold medal, and attained a master's degree in electrical engineering from the College of Engineering. He went on to receive a PhD degree from Imperial College at the University of London, England, in 1965, where he was an Athon Fellow and a NATO scholar. He came back to Canada the same year and began employment in a new microelectronics initiative at Canadian Westinghouse in Ontario. A few years later, in fact in 1973, he was one of the founders of Linear Technology Incorporated, which is now known as Genome Corporation. This is a company that is a world leader in hearing aid and high-end broadcast video products. Dr. Barber was the president and CEO of Genome when he retired just 8 years ago. Doug's contributions to both to the profession and to the society are multifaceted. He was a member of the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council of Canada, the National Innovation Strategy, the Ontario Post-Secondary Education Quality Assessment Board, and the Vice Chair of Ontario Science and Innovation Council. At McMaster University, Dr. Barber is past chair and continuing member of the Board of Governors, and he was a member of the Conference Board of Canada Leaders Roundtable on Commercialization and a member of the board of the Institute of Quantum Computing, and also a member of the Ontario Research and Innovation Council. As you see, this is a very impressive list of memberships and accomplishments as well, and he should be the one that should show us how to manage professional involvements while balancing one's personal life. Dr. Barber has received an honorary doctorate in engineering from the University of Waterloo, an honorary doctorate of science from McMaster University, and in 1999 was named Ontario's Technology Entrepreneur of the Year. He also received the Professional Engineers of Ontario Gold Medal and the C.J. Mackenzie Distinguished Award from our own College of Engineering. And recently, in 2006, Dr. Barber was appointed as an officer of the Order of Canada. Doug knows very well what it means being not just a student, but also a professor. He was a part-time engineering physics professor at McMaster University, and in 2001, he was appointed Distinguished Professor in Residence, and he continues to interact with both students and faculty. He recognizes that a university's quality is best evaluated through the success of its students. What really matters, in fact, what matters most, is that we offer an excellent education to the students who select us, and therefore investing in students' education and the future of the Canadian talent is a strategy Dr. Barber is delighted to endorse. We are really proud of his significant contributions to our own university. For example, he established the Barb Hall Chair in the College of Engineering in his own department, electrical and computer engineering, and the chair has helped design a new generation of engineering graduates who transition easily into their professions as well-rounded, people-oriented leaders involved in all facets of society. Through his associations with many provincial and national organizations, Dr. Barber has demonstrated his long-standing commitment to promote innovative technology and university-industry linkages, which are crucial to the future of both industry and university. He speaks frequently on business, technology, learning, innovation, and economic development, and has authored many refereed papers and filed several patents as well. He has been said to epitomize the modern engineering entrepreneur. In fact, I have had the pleasure of spending some time with Doug, his wife June, who is with us today, and their family during past few days. I learned many things about Doug and his family, and one of them was that he is passionate about fly fishing and fly tying, and he shares this passion with his son. And it happens that my own son is also an avid fly fisherman, and he makes his own flies as well. Now, Doug, you will be receiving an honorary degree from Madame Chancellor, but what I would like to do is I would like to give you a gift of my own, which is a fly, that was tied by my son, and it is for deep sea fishing. So hopefully you will be able to have time to use it. And please consider it as another memento to remember us by. Thank you so much for listening to my introduction, and I would like to introduce Dr. H. Douglas Barber, who will give the convocation speech. Thank you.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Chancellor Pezer, President McKinnon, honored graduates and postgraduates, families and friends. It's a very great honor for me to receive such select and special recognition today, especially from my own mother university. That, in a way, is what alma mater means, I think, although I never took any Latin. I graduated here in electrical engineering in 1959. That's 49 years ago. Wow. What I learned here has opened choices for me that I could never have predicted. And I'm very grateful for that. Today, we proudly mark the achievements of you who are graduating. For each of you, this achievement will open many doors. Doors of opportunity to make your world and ours a better place. I was born on our farm in Saskatchewan, and my brother, who still farms pieces of it, is here today, about 100 kilometers north of Regina. I was born in the peak of the 1930s depression and drought. The temperatures each day hovered around 40 degrees centigrade, and it was so dry, I'm told, that even the Russian thistle could not grow. After that drought, we didn't have much of anything except hard work, food that we were able to grow ourselves, faith in God, lots of love, and thanks to my mother, books. My mother, by the way, was 100 years old on the 1st of April, and we celebrated for 6 days. The books that she had included 2 sets of encyclopedia. I remember spending hours in those books. One of the things I remember in those books was the pictures of people in clothes like the ones I'm wearing now. I thought those people were from ancient history. I couldn't imagine any person I'd know dressing up like that. I would never have imagined that someday I would stand proudly looking like one of those people. I've learned since that there are particular groups of people who dress up in very historic garb. There are the academics, and you can see quite a few of them here today, and they're quite colorful, aren't they? There's the church. The garbed academics had their roots in the church. There are the courts. Judges had their roots in the courts and in academia. They were influenced by quite a few. But you can tell when they get those white permed curls on their often bald heads that there's more to their roots than the roots of the church or academia. And then there are the Houses of Parliament, where some people dress all the time, and others do it for special occasions. The judicial courts and the courts of government get some of their fashion from the clergy and academics, but it got embellished by aristocracy. I have to tell you that the transition for me from the days on the prairie farm when I wore patched overalls, or not so patched overalls, but made from the better remnants of my father's worn-out overalls, to this day, this garment seems hard to reconcile with that. I don't have difficulty, I guess, putting it all together. What does it mean? What does it mean? Well, I have thought about it, and I think it means that even in days of rapid change, we hold on to a lot from the past. I've learned that at times this is very foundational. It keeps us with our feet on the ground. At other times, it's very immobilizing. It keeps us from moving ahead. Unfortunately, we all have difficulty at times telling the difference between a solid footing and an anchor. This is where wisdom helps. And I might say the academic world is not immune to this problem. Sometimes this dress symbolizes an anchor embedded in thinking that has not moved for hundreds of years. At other times, it represents progressive, innovative thinking that builds on the great thinking and the great knowing people in all of human history. You are, I think pretty well all of you are receiving professional degrees today. Much of your learning did not even exist when these gowns and hoods were in vogue throughout the cold halls of Europe's historic academic institutions. That's fortunate for you, because you've had and continue to have the opportunity to embrace the foundational learning of times past and integrate it with today's learning for the betterment of your lives and ours. You've had to acquire and absorb a lot of knowledge here. That is good. But it's the learning skills you've acquired and the courage that you've learned to use to make good choices and decisions that are the most important things you've picked up. These, more than anything else, are what will make you significant contributors and innovators in many unpredictable ways over the next decades of your lives. Of course, you'll need some wisdom to make good choices, and we're not born with wisdom. We're not born with wisdom. We don't start out wise. And indeed, it's possible to die having gained little wisdom. You could have a lot of knowledge, but wisdom is a different thing. Wisdom comes from proactive determination to make good choices and decisions throughout life. The fact that you are graduating today is an indication that you are not just on the knowledge and skills journey, but you are also on the wisdom journey. Keep on the wisdom journey. Keep it going and growing. In your disciplines, you are all required to clothe yourselves adequately in the valuable learning of the past, while actively embracing and contributing to the new learning that is reshaping our world. You have your lives in front of you. You have the best preparation for professional practice and for lifelong learning that the University of Saskatchewan can offer. It's a great start. I can only encourage you to build on it. Build tenaciously and proactively. Good luck. God bless you. We are all very, very proud of you.
Eminent Chancellor, Elder Linklater, MLAs Schreimer and Broughton, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen. May I add my words to those you have already heard, welcoming you all to Convocation 2008. This is the University of Saskatchewan's most important celebration, for it is here that we come together and publicly recognize the achievements of our graduates and the contributions to their success of their families and friends. This day also marks the admission of our students to the University of Saskatchewan family of graduates worldwide. I can say to you that their record of achievement is an outstanding one. I'm confident that you will uphold and enhance that record in the years to come. I would like as well to extend a very warm welcome to the families of the graduates who are assembled here today. We're delighted to have you with us. You have shared the joys and the hardships of your graduate in his or her journey leading to the success that we mark today. We share your pride, and we thank you very much for being here. The graduates this afternoon represent a number of the university's professional colleges. The university has a very broad range of health science programs, and the colleges of medicine and dentistry and the School of Physical Therapy are among them. These are excellent programs, and their success to date and their promise for the future are reflected in two of the university's most prominent current initiatives. One of these is the creation of the new School of Public Health, which is expected to bring the health sciences closer together in major interdisciplinary collaboration. And the other is a major new provincial and university investment in academic health sciences facilities. These two initiatives represent our university's and our province's commitment to ensure that we are doing our part to meet the personnel needs of the Saskatchewan and Canadian healthcare systems, and that we make a full contribution to the world of discovery in the life sciences and the health sciences that is so important to advances in healthcare in the future. I believe that the University of Saskatchewan is uniquely placed among universities to make advances in medical education and research that are the foundations of our healthcare system. A combination of a unique array of healthcare programs. The only university-based medical imaging synchrotron beamline in the world, and the construction of the International Vaccine Center now underway give us unprecedented opportunities to contribute to health science teaching, research, and outreach and engagement. You will not travel in Saskatchewan and throughout Western Canada as often as I do without hearing frequently about the fine graduates of our colleges of engineering and of law. Indeed, I encounter many employers who express a preference for University of Saskatchewan graduates in these fields. Their preferences are based on a sound appreciation of these two colleges. They are quite simply excellent colleges, and all of us at the university are proud of their quality. There are many highlights I could mention. Our engineering student space team finished in first place at the NASA Centennial Challenges competition. Engineering sci-fi camps won a major award for leadership and innovation for their commitment to reaching minority and isolated populations throughout the province. And just recently, the College of Engineering was successful in attracting the Government of Saskatchewan's support for the establishment of the Saskatchewan Centre of Excellence in Transportation. And in the College of Law, the undoubted highlight was the opening on March 14th of this year of the newly renovated and significantly expanded space for the College and the Native Law Centre. This very attractive space sets new standards on our campus for environmental sustainability by achieving LEED Gold standards in construction. I'm also pleased to note that less than 1 year after beginning operation, the college's Community Legal Assistance Services for Saskatoon Inner-City program was awarded the C. Willie Hodgson Award by the Law Society of Saskatchewan for integrity, leadership and character, and for an outstanding contribution to advancing equity and diversity in legal education, the legal profession, and the administration of justice. A quick summary, but an illustration that there is much to be proud of in all of these colleges. To the graduates in dentistry, engineering, law, medicine, physical therapy, and public health, I want to extend my warmest congratulations and very best wishes to all. I want you to know that as you cross this stage this afternoon, you carry with you the confidence, respect, and affection of everyone at the University of Saskatchewan. We will follow your future activities with much interest. Stay in touch with us. We are proud to be your university. Thank you very much.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate and Board, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees and certificates to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled, and to invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduands in the front row please rise and come to the platform?
Good afternoon, everyone. Prior to presenting the graduates, I would like to say you may realize that as I call out the names of our graduates, you will not see or hear an association with distinction or great distinction. The College of Dentistry has decided that our responsibility is to train and graduate caring, competent professionals, and that the Doctor of Dental Medicine degree is the realization that we've trained our graduates well. So we've eliminated the designation of distinction and great distinction. And on that note, Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Dentistry, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Dental Medicine. Brett Bevins. Jess Chokar. Caesar Chow. Brad Cornish. Stephanie Craig. Brent Davis. Athel Deer. Scott Harris. Jocelyn Hodgson. Wasim Hussein. Sherry Kalin. Ryan Killistoff. Sung-Hae Kim. Mark Kramer. Christy LaFontaine. I got a contract for you. Krista McCann. Jennifer Park. Brianne Paseka. Paseska, sorry. Katharina Robles. Simran Sandhu. Yonita Safari. Sharice Spies. Amanda Uselman. Phuong Vu. Jason Yen. Thomas Yoon. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of the Doctor of Dental Medicine.
Hello again, and before I address Madam Chancellor, I noticed something in the convocation book. If you turn your page to page 59, you will see, which is the image of a beautiful building that is announcing our today's ceremony, and it says. It is an engineering building, and I would like to acknowledge the university for a unique forward-looking, because engineering is in need of a new building, and we wish it had been our building. It is, in fact, a building of our sister institution, which is a National Research Council. It's just located vis-a-vis where our building is. So I would like to thank you very much, the university, for announcing probably a new building that will be received by engineering. Well, Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Bachelors of Science in Engineering, and I present to you the graduates of Agriculture and Bioresource Engineering, and I present to you Nicholas William Allen. Nicholas, congratulations, sir. Wadina Delzy Burnett. Tanya Nita Julia. Is it correct? In fact, I should correct myself. It is Julia, that's her first name, and I have another line with the family name, and it is Tanya Nita Julia de Rosario. This time I'm going to get it right. Curtis Matthew Ferguson. Daniel Harry George Gauthier. Congratulations. Lyndon Joel Graff. Jonathan Nicholas Henderson. Paul Andrew Hildebrandt. Brandon Douglas Lisk. Ryan Christopher Roberge. Jeffrey John Ruzicka. Joel Ryan Sawatsky. Carrie Dawn Sidelitz. Cameron Wade Stetzner. Corey Ryan Wensley. Talia Ray Arabsky. Madam Chancellor, I present to you the graduates of civil engineering class as well. Jennifer Joan Ball. Robert Francis Cohen. Gina Marie Fair. Jennifer Renee Fertuk. Benjamin James Heusler. Alison Michelle Hirsch. Jun Hu. Kelly Owen Just. Tristan James McEwen, with distinction. Elia Marie Miller, also with distinction. Patrick Thomas Murphy. Good luck. Douglas Robert Norman. Paul Alexander Perejma. Michael Stephen Popovich. Ryan James Rogal. Holly Helena Faye Sauka. Jamie Dawn Schmidt. David Charles Smith. Thank you very much. Lucas Christopher Ray Story. Congratulations. Jamie Mary Taylor. Mitchell James Thompson. Jennifer Lynn Wagner. I would like to invite to the podium Assistant Dean in the College of Engineering, Professor Marco Mollet, who will introduce graduates from Chemical Engineering program. Marco?
Aliyah Abed Rabo. Mark Joseph Beyer. John Charles Bolster. Foming Dai. Mark Vincent Dalton. Brett Christopher Dickey. John Gregory Duca. Hili Yunki. Danielle Peter Gillies with great distinction. Jamie Nicole Hiltz. Kathleen Laurie Jacobson. Amanda Celine Kaufman. Elise Michelle Greiser with great distinction. Kevin Allen Mammer with great distinction. Rabina Mungro. Sedimia El Choco Oki. Wade Alexander Osiki. Mansoor Ahmed Osman, with distinction. James Michael Rowan, with distinction. Jonathan Michael Rudolph. Sarah Jean Stade. Yu Ching Wang. Nicole Danielle Beats, and this is with electrical engineering. Scott Edwin Bobeck. Cameron Scott Buskill. Christopher Michael Daviduck. Adam Corey Grabica. Brian Adam Hamilton. Corwin Henry Joseph Head with great distinction. Stephen Leonard Captain with great distinction. Jared Reese Levesque with distinction. Aaron Charles Lowe. Sheldon Charles Lowe. Kang Chi Shinate Lowe with great distinction. Cody Ray Luce. John Alexander Lovering. Ahmed Fatin Mahdi. Eugene Mazen Matlik. Chad Glenn Michael. Julie Adego Oakfall. Dennis Egon Peters. Stephanie Rojan Diaz, prize 2-tank room, with distinction. Christopher Robert Adam Roy, with great distinction. Eric James Sanderson. Jesse Hall Solheim with distinction. Alex Barine Stuber with great distinction. Stephen Tao with great distinction. And now the graduates from the Department of Engineering Physics, Anthony Franklin Bathgate with great distinction. Darla Bodnachuk with great distinction. Adam Bruce Bain. Bon. Mark Jeffrey Boots with great distinction. David Chevrier with great distinction. Darren James Hunter with distinction. Machingaga Kasuga with distinction. James Anthony Matinka with distinction. Kelly Marie Payton with great distinction. Mark Peter Paulson with great distinction. Jakalasa Justice Chasambini with Ying Zhang with great distinction.
And from geological engineering, Alain Jean-Pierre Boyer. Greg David Cayenne. Stephen Allen Clemmer. Timothy Blaise Siroha. Nicole Diane Stebbings. Jenna D. Zadunich. And now from mechanical engineering. Trevor Allen Anderson. Wesley Armson. James Hall Arthur. Chad David Bashinsky. Nishant Bhatta. Kevin Joseph Alphonse Blaise. Douglas Alexander Campbell. John Donald Code. Sean Michael Crow. Michael Andrew Dempsey, with great distinction. Michael Stewart Dixon. Shane Michael Ellickson. Mert Orion. Anton Robert Darcy Farber. David John Fletcher. Jesse Terence Frigstad. Darcy Sheridan Godwin. Chadley Darrell Cagley, with distinction. Matthew William Kemp, with distinction. Eric Anders Larson. Fengjian Li. Grant James Mann. Ryan Carl McMillan. Jeffrey Cole Natras. Michael Stephen Nemeth. Timothy Allen Newhouse. Joel Eve Olivier. David Joseph Pashenik. Patrick James Peltier. Stephen Thomas Phelps. Joshua Norman Pinette. Tyrell Jonathan Priest, with great distinction. Matthew Richard Pribilski. Jeffrey Scott Puckett. John Dawson Reed. Clayton Randall Ruskowski. Jason Julian Sander. Andrew John Shenstead, with great distinction. Colin James Smith-Windsor, with distinction. Rory Kent Statham. Ryan William Sewer. Brennan Jacob Percy Tennischuk. Stephen John Thompson. Brodie James Yellen with distinction. Jeremy Murray Zakreski. Please join with me in congratulating the recipients of the Bachelor of Science degree in Engineering.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you this scholar and ask that you confer on her the degree of Masters of Engineering. Let me present to you Hendrika Stephen Kufar. Congratulations to you, Hendrika. Well, please join me in congratulating her on the degree of Masters of Engineering. And this time, Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Masters of Science. I present to you Nalinda Laksiri Tisanayake. He Lee. Tyler Terence Remu. Mark Douglas Shaw. Luan Don Sirota. Yuan Wang. Jing Shu. Ningli Su. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Masters of Science.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Law, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer upon them the degree Bachelor of Laws. James Paul Anderson. Derek Chad Burton. Kirk Matthew Cherry. Tristan Nicholas Cullum. Neil Blair Elder. Alan James Fern. Mark Sebastian George Galambos. Scott Douglas Giroux. David Alexander Hartney. Kathy Lee Hodgson Smith. Leah Marie Howie with great distinction. Courtney Cara Catcher with distinction. Courtney Elizabeth Elander Kirk. Benjamin John Cormos. Holly Ann Kuski with great distinction. Erin Lynn Lalonde with great distinction. Jolene Marie Isabel Lalonde with distinction. Jana Marie Linner with great distinction. Brett Matthew Keith Ludlow. Lindsay Ann Melhoff with distinction. Nicholas Alexander Craig Milliken. Timothy Ryan Douglas Nelson with distinction. Evan James Olson. William Charles Robertson. Lena Ray Ronspies. Angela Kim Roy. Aaron Lee Schroe with distinction. Megan Shields. Brent Paul Slobodjan. Amanda Dallas Smith. Dean Charles Stanley. Hilary Ann Tash. Dina Suzanne Waba with distinction. Anita Gail Wanzura with great distinction. Stephen Robert Will. Delilah Lorna Young. Misha Bernard Zatman. Liliana Zarek. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd invite you to join me in congratulating these graduates of the 2008 LLB class.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Medicine, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Medicine. I present to you Allison Tanya Colleen Adamas. Christopher James Allman. Alana Blythe Baylod. Jesse Tana Baptiste. Angela Ray Bates. Christine Louise Bardwash. Tinley Nicole Bauer. Mayur Brahmania. Riaz Jagbar. Leslie Carol Chatterson. Timothy Paul Eman. Andrea Yanying Fong. Megan Lynn Garner. Joshua Drew Gitlin. Jacelyn Marie Hansen. Sarah DeCourcy Harrison. Christine Karen Lee Hugo. Morgan Jane Hewitt. Tamara Jade Heinz. Elliot Hui. Ashley Ignatchuk. Michael David Kapusta. Paul Daniel Korchinski. Justina Jill Koshinsky. Emily Ting Yun Kwan. Michelle Monique Lacasse. Kevin John Martin Ledding. Kimberly Faye McCalla. Cameron Michael McDougall. Matthew Cole McIsaac. Philippe Mercier. Erica Joan Murkowski. Amber October Molnar. Sarah Rose Mueller. Michael Riley O'Byrne. Nicholas Andrew Petty. Roseanne Kasimi. Andres Rudovics. Sachin Shah. Nevin Paul Kaur Sidhu. Danielle Marie Stacue. Trevor Adam Steve. Nida Shaheen Syed. Declan Peter Unsworth. Conrad James Weichel. Susan Grace Wagner. Sarah Catherine Warden. Anthony Wafiq Aziz Wasif. Karen Kathleen Weiss. Laura Catherine Weens. Sanisha Jurasi. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree Doctor of Medicine. Master of Science degrees will be presented by Dr. Jim Thornhill, the Associate Dean for Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Khalid Atelmenin, Pamela Marie-Ann Farthing, Christina Elise Southey, Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating these recipients of the degree of Master of Science from the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Physical Therapy, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physical Therapy. I present to you Trevor J. Odemus, Melissa Arscott, Carol Campbell, Morgan Durrell with distinction, Colin Dick, Travis Evely, Allison Finningley with distinction, Carissa Folden, Elisa Fossen, Myra Gonzalez, Jana Hawes with distinction, Carla Horvey with distinction, Isabel Johnston, Justin Kowal with distinction, Vivian Eng with great distinction, Chelsea Retzlaff with great distinction, Jordan Reuter with distinction, Lisa Soar, Talisha Schlatt with distinction, Lisa Skarpinski, Danielle Stav with distinction, Adrian Stinson, Charlene Story with distinction, Tasha Thornhill. Catherine Warkentin with great distinction. Evan Wazelnuk with distinction. Ashley Wild with great distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physical Therapy.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Public Health, I present these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Public Health. I present to you Jennifer Evac. Laura Ann Matz. Cheryl Tracy Mitchell. Olana Patricia White. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree Master of Public Health.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty in the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer upon them the degree Doctor of Philosophy. I present to you Muyiwa Samuel Adaramola. Sorry, Sam. Sha Chao. Sunita Ghosh. Shu Li. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these recipients of the degree Doctor of Philosophy.
Eminent Chancellor, in the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be here today.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees and certificates to be granted.
Eminent Chancellor, it's my pleasure to present Dr. Mark Kramer as this year's recipient of the Gold Medal in Dentistry. The Gold Medal in Dentistry represents an individual who is able to weave together the theoretical, the practical, the clinical, the social, other stuff. Mark earned a Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology and immunology from the University of British Columbia, and then had the good sense to head to Saskatoon to continue his education at the University of Saskatchewan and the College of Dentistry, so we do appreciate that. He's received multiple awards throughout his 4-year career, too many to name. Actually, the list it's almost close to the number of people who graduated from engineering this year. They just keep coming and coming. In his own words, in your own words? Mark is encouraged by these awards because achieving excellence in dentistry is in itself an extraordinary challenge. Fine words. He hopes to build on his past experiences and become involved in dental outreach programs for disadvantaged populations. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Dentistry, it gives me great pleasure to present the Gold Medal in Dentistry to Dr. Mark Kramer.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, on behalf of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan, I'm really pleased to present my good colleague, Mark Boots, with the 2008 Apex Gold Medal in recognition of his academic achievements and leadership in engineering at the University of Saskatchewan. Mark is one of our only few graduates that is graduating with dual degree. He's receiving a Bachelor of Science in Engineering Physics and in Computer Science as well. Mark has received almost every single award that one could receive in engineering and probably in science as well, including very prestigious awards such as Harrington Prize and Nicky Fork Scholarship and Listwin Scholarship and Staples Scholarship, and one scholarship that is really unique. It's a Nasser Family Gold Medal for excellence in leadership, scholarship, and sportsmanship, and this is exactly what he is all about. He is contributing also to teams, intramural teams in volleyball and in basketball and in football as well. And he was one of the colleagues that was working on USST team, University of Saskatchewan Space Design team, that received NASA first prize in three times in a row, I understand, and we hope that he's going to stay around for another year when they are preparing for the next competition. I have had several opportunities to meet with Mark on a few subjects, and it was with him, it was all hot and all cattle all the time. So it was truly a pleasure meeting with you, Mark, and just very recently he came to me and he represented Engineers Without Borders, and he wanted to receive some precious space in our college, and he was very patient and persistent and persuasive and personal and ultimately successful in achieving his goal. So Mark, what we do is we would like to wish you all the best in achieving all your goals in the future. Please accept this gold medal on behalf of the association.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've taken a few moments to read the program and counted, quite frankly, as I do from time to time, you will see that there were 7 graduates of the law school this year with their Bachelor of Laws degree who received that degree with great distinction. Erin Lynn Lalonde is the greatest of these, so to speak. She is the 2008 recipient of the Thomas Dowrick Brown Prize and Law Society of Saskatchewan Gold Medal in Law. Thomas Dowrick Brown, after whom this award is named, was a distinguished graduate and a distinguished lawyer in this province many years ago. Erin joins a long line of very distinguished recipients of this award, a literal who's who of lawyers and judges and leaders in this province and country. Erin is a longtime resident of Saskatoon. She attended Bishop Mahoney High School in this city and studied 2 years in the College of Arts and Science at the University of Saskatchewan before becoming one of a very small number of outstanding students to enter our law school without an undergraduate degree. But as you can see, she proved worthy of our confidence in her, and I think her confidence in herself, that she pursued a law degree in an extremely timely manner. Erin has distinguished herself academically, more about this in a moment. She has also contributed extensively to the university and law school community. She has been actively involved in campus life, as a member of the Greystone Club, as an active debater, and at the U of S a member of the Debating Society, a canvasser for charitable organizations, and more recently, co-director of Campus Legal Services, the law student-run free legal clinic on campus for university students, and this year as co-editor of the Saskatchewan Law Review. She was highly sought after by her professors as a research assistant during her years at law school. The Brown Prize and Gold Medal recognize the student with the most outstanding academic performance during his or her years at law school. Erin has certainly achieved this status. In preparation for these remarks, I did a little bit of research. I reviewed the performances of every leading graduate of our law school in its history. Considering that we are a law school with a national reputation for parsimoniousness in our grading, as many of you near the front rows will know all too well, Erin's academic performance at our school has been nothing short of astounding. She achieved an academic average in her LLB program that is the second highest in the 96-year history of our law school. The person who achieved the highest average in history is present in the building today and tells me he is relieved that his record withstood Aaron's challenge. But, as with all records, Wayne Gretzky's and others, they do get overtaken one by one, and Aaron's third-year performance at our law school was the highest ever achieved at our law school, no small achievement. Aaron will be joining a distinguished Saskatchewan law firm in the province, indeed has already started work there. I should tell you, though, one small story related to her third year at law school. I teach the upper year course in legal ethics and professional responsibility. Aaron was enrolled in the course, but transferred out and into another course after the first class. There are three possible explanations, I think. First, the prof was terrible. It's probably true, but something my own ego isn't prepared to admit. Perhaps the class was going to be too hard for her. Perhaps she learned the whole course in that first class. I'll leave it to you, based on what you've heard of her achievements to date, to decide which of those explanations is the most likely. Little more need be said. We are today honoring not just one of the most outstanding graduates in a very fine graduating law school class, but one of the most outstanding graduates in the history of our law school. It is a great pleasure for me to be awarding the Thomas Dowrick Brown Prize and Law Society of Saskatchewan Gold Medal to you today, Aaron. Congratulations.
Eminent Chancellor, President McKinnon, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. The Lindsay Gold Medal in Medicine is named in honor of Dr. W. Stuart Lindsay, the first professor of pathology and the first dean of the School of Medical Sciences. It is awarded annually at Spring Convocation to the most distinguished graduate of the college, and it is my pleasure to introduce this year's recipient, Jacelyn Marie Hansen. Jacelyn was born in Unity, Saskatchewan, and graduated from Unity Composite High School in 1999. Shortly thereafter, she moved to Saskatoon, where she attended the University of Saskatchewan and received a Bachelor of Science degree with great distinction, majoring in anatomy and cell biology. She also completed 1 year in the College of Pharmacy and Nutrition and 1 year in the School of Physical Therapy before seeing the light and coming to the College of Medicine. We do, however, think that those skills will suit her well as she moves into a domain increasingly interprofessional in its scope. Jacelyn began her undergraduate medical education in August of 2004. She continued to maintain her exemplary academic standing and as a result has been the recipient of many undergraduate medical education awards. While maintaining an outstanding academic career, Jacelyn has been very interested in health of underserved communities, countries, Aboriginal health, and women's health. She has participated in the Making the Links project and spent the summer of 2005 living on the Buffalo River Dene Nation Reserve and the summer of 2006 in Mozambique, participating in clinical and community experiences. She has volunteered her time at SWITCH, the Student Wellness Initiative towards Community Health in the core area of Saskatoon, and various other College of Medicine and Student Medical Society activities. Jacelyn is continuing her education and is entering a residency training program in family medicine at the University of British Columbia in Victoria, BC, beginning July 1, 2008. Please join me in congratulating the outstanding medical graduate in the class of 2008, Dr. Jacelyn Hansen.
The Talmadge E. Hunt Award is awarded to the most distinguished graduating student in the Bachelor of Science Physical Therapy program. This year, the student earning this high honor is Kathy Warkentin. Kathy grew up in Drake, Saskatchewan, and attended her final 2 years of high school at Rostron Junior College. Prior to acceptance into the School of Physical Therapy, she was a student in the College of Arts and Science, majoring in psychology. Kathy is known by her instructors to be an excellent student, thoughtful, analytical, and diligent. She has undertaken research projects under the Dean's Summer Research Student Program, and having been one of her supervisors, I can attest to her high level of organization, her ability to question and explore for answers, and her compassion and good nature in communicating with people. Kathy has been involved in the Physical Therapy Student Society, campus recreation activities, including soccer, ultimate frisbee, and hockey. She has won several awards already, including the Wallace Graham Memorial Award, the M.G. Winthrop Bursary, University of Saskatchewan Undergraduate Scholarships, and the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association Scholarship. Her future plans are to specialize in orthopedic practice, and she has accepted a position in Saskatoon, a physical therapy position at Barras & Associates. Please join me in congratulating Kathy Warkentin on winning the Talmadge E. Hunt Award.
Will Wei Xiao please come forward? Wei Xiao, Professor and Department Head of Microbiology and Immunology in the College of Medicine, is this spring's recipient of the Distinguished Researcher Award. This award recognizes a University of Saskatchewan faculty member's contribution to scholarship through creation, expansion, and critique of knowledge. Professor Xiao is a significant contributor to the fields of DNA repair and cancer research. Colleagues from across the globe have described the microbiologist's work as pioneering, seminal, and at the forefront of a new wave of DNA repair research. Professor Xiao's research has garnered a National Cancer Institute of Canada's NCIC Research Scientist Award and a spot on the Canadian Who's Who list since 1996. These accolades are founded on years of groundbreaking research. He discovered a pair of closely related genes called Beauty and the Beast that govern cancer development. This work in uncovering Beauty and the Beast was later declared a milestone in Canadian health research by the Canadian Institutes of Health Research. Professor Xiao is also known for contributing to Finding Nemo, a tiny protein that he once described as an essential link in the chain of events resulting in the cell's efforts to defend the vast ocean of the human body against invaders such as viral and bacterial infections. Professor Xiao has helped young scholars find similar academic success by supervising 19 postgraduate theses and a number of postdoctoral fellows, and his expert guidance was recognized in 2007 when he was awarded the Supervisor of the Year Award by the college's Graduate Student Society. As both a researcher and a teaching professor, he has also guided many undergraduates toward research careers. Would you all please join me in congratulating Wei Xiao.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, platform participants, graduates, and guests. As president of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association, It is my pleasure today to recognize this class of 2008 as graduates and welcome each of you to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. As you walk across the stage today, it is important to know that graduation does not signal the end of your relationship with the university, but rather the beginning of your new and lifelong role as a member of the larger University of Saskatchewan alumni community. You have received a first-class education, and it is your responsibility to ensure that the degree from the University of Saskatchewan will always be a source of great pride, a sign of integrity, a hallmark of excellence. Your Alumni Association provides an important link between you and our university. This relationship can help build your career, maintain lifelong friendships with people you've met during your time as a student, and provide opportunities for you to stay connected with this excellent institution. You join a group of distinguished University of Saskatchewan graduates who have gone before you to change the world and contribute greatly to our society. Based on our collective alumni experiences, I can tell you that your time at the University of Saskatchewan will have significant impact on your life in the days, months, and years to come. We want to hear about your future milestones, so I strongly encourage you to share your accomplishments with us so we can celebrate your success together. The University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association applauds and sincerely appreciates your hard work and outstanding accomplishments to date. We know that you have much to contribute to the world and that your future has limitless potential. The University of Saskatchewan has been a place where great minds meet, and we look forward to meeting with you again. Congratulations, class of 2008, and welcome to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association.
This brings our convocation ceremony to a close, but before we do, I would like to thank a number of people. First, Glenn Gillis and the University Wind Orchestra. Our vocalist, Elise Epp. Our signer for today's ceremony, Ann Websdale. Elder Walter Linkletter. And last but not least, Marnie McNiven, Convocation Coordinator, and all the members of her team that make these ceremonies a success. I would remind graduates and their families of the receptions that follow. Dentistry, please meet west of the main lobby. Medicine, please meet in the center of the main lobby. Physical therapy, you go to the west of the main lobby. Physical therapy, please meet west of the main lobby. Public health as well. Engineering, please meet in the Grand Circle lobby. And law, please meet east of the main lobby. Finally, to the graduates, enjoy today and savor your success. You have acquired an important key to your future, but your degree is not your only acquisition today. It combines with other important but less tangible benefits which have shaped you and will continue to contribute who you are in the future. For the rest of your life, you will retain a treasure of memories from your time at the University of Saskatchewan, of faculty who made a difference, of your fellow students, experiences, some enriching, others perhaps worrisome, but always you were learning. You are an alumnus of a proud and successful university. Take that legacy with you wherever you go. The University of Saskatchewan is the bond that unites us all because we have all been touched in one way or another by our experiences as part of the university. Those who came before us established this bond. Now I ask you to help ensure that it remains strong in the future. Now would you please rise and join in the singing of God Save the Queen.